Hey, what's going on everybody? It's your boy C-Pims here. Well, what we got going for today's video is we are going to be feeding the lawns some more fertilizer. So as you guys saw 2 videos ago, I went ahead, I obviously showed you guys the new sprayer, and I went ahead in that same video and applied some Mirimichi Green 323 NutriTurf liquid fertilizer. So it's been about 2 weeks since I went ahead and did that, so I think it's time for some more fertilizer to be put down. I'll go ahead and show you guys what I'm using today. I'll show you the container it's in. I'll show you guys the label of it and obviously what the NPK ratio is and all that. I'll tell you what rate I'm applying it at as well, so you guys can kind of get an idea of how I'm going to be approaching the lawns this season. So yeah, you guys, without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into this. Like I said, I'll show you guys what I'm using today, and we'll go ahead and get everything mixed up into the sprayer, and then we're going to go ahead and get to spraying. So let's get it. Okay, you guys, so what we are going to be applying today is this 1806. It's called the Classic NK. And then as you guys can see here on the front part of the label, here's the breakdown of all the percentages of what's in it. So as you guys can see here, I'm not going to read them all off. I'll just zoom in on the, obviously what's in it. So it definitely has a lot of the micronutrients that I need, which is very good. So that's another reason why I got this and why I'm going to be applying this year. So yeah, and then what I'll go ahead and do is flip it around. Here is the back part of the label. As you guys can see, we have this whole table here for application rates. Now, obviously my main focus is this lawn care portion here, which shows that the application rate for per 1,000 square feet, what they recommend is 10 to 20 fluid ounces every 6 to 8 weeks. So that's what I look at here. But however, what I'm going to be doing this year is I'm going to try the spoon feeding approach. Now, this is my first time doing spoon feeding. I'm curious to try it out this year, and I'm curious to see how it's going to do over the long term for my lawn. So that's what we're doing this year. So what I'm mainly focused on is this area right here in the middle. As you guys can see, it has 1/10 pound of nitrogen, 1/8 pound of nitrogen, 1/4 pound of nitrogen, 1/3 pound of nitrogen, 1/2 pound of nitrogen. And then it has all the application timings here on the side as well. So for me, since I'm going to be spoon feeding, as I told you guys, it has the application rate up here for 10 to 20 fluid ounces. Basically what I'm going to do is go below that lowest rate. So I'm going to be right around this area right here, most likely between anywhere from 5 to 7 ounces per 1,000 square feet is how I'm going to be applying this fertilizer in specific this year. So now, as you can see, it says weekly release rate. I'm probably going to do it every other week just to see how it starts out. And if I want to start applying it weekly, I can totally do that. But I'm going to try it every other week just to see how it, how things start turning out for me. And yeah, so without further ado, now that you guys have seen what we're using today, let's go ahead and get that amount into the measuring cup that I want to use, and we'll go ahead and mix it into the sprayer. Okay, so as you guys can see, we got the measuring cup out with the scale. Now we're going to go ahead and measure out how much product I'm going to be using for today, which I'm going to be going with 6 ounces per 1,000 square feet. So let's go ahead and measure that out right now. Got the scale on, zeroed out with the measuring cup. Let's go ahead and pour out 6 ounces of this classic fertilizer. A little bit over, but that's okay. Totally fine. We're at 6.4. Like I said, a little bit over, but that's okay. So now that we got our fertilizer measured out, let's go ahead and put it in our sprayer. Also, you guys, I already have a gallon of water in here, which is what I'm working with. So I'm using a gallon of water per 1,000 square feet. So let's go ahead and put our 6 ounces of product in. Okay. That's all in there. We're good there. Go ahead and put the lid back on. Sure we're good there, snug and good. Now what I like to do is I like to obviously go ahead and shake it up inside the sprayer. Just give it a good shake, just to make sure everything's all mixed together, all ready to rock and roll for you. All right, now that we're all shooken up, we're ready to rock and roll and get to spraying.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to live this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight we gonna let it away. Tonight we gonna let it just like the sunrise. We gonna let it away. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Only just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it away. Tonight we gonna let it away. Tonight we gonna let it just like the sunrise. We gonna let it away.
Alrighty, you guys. Well, as you guys saw, we went ahead and put down some of the 1806 today. One thing I will say right off the bat is I definitely got to get used to using a battery-powered backpack sprayer. Definitely a little bit different than using just your basic handheld, pump sprayer. Definitely a little bit more goes into it, not much, but a little bit more goes into it. Obviously, your walking pace and everything else when you're applying your products. So that's definitely going to take some getting used to, but nothing that I can't handle. So yeah. So you guys, what I want to go ahead and do is talk to you guys a little bit about spoon feeding and why I'm choosing to do it. Now, from what I've seen online and other videos I've seen online, is spoon feeding seems to be more beneficial over the long term, meaning it seems to be a lot more beneficial over the season, over the whole season, from what I've seen. Now, I think obviously the reason being as to why that is because you're feeding your lawns little bits at a time, but more frequently. So if you guys aren't familiar with what spoon feeding is, I'll give you guys a quick little rundown. I'm not going to give you the whole scientific breakdown why I think it's better and why it's all this scientific data. I'm not doing that. If you guys want that sort of breakdown, I would suggest checking out other channels or other videos on YouTube. They certainly have that out there, and there's definitely better people who are, there's people who are better at doing it than I am. So spoon feeding is basically when you're taking below the recommended rate, but you're applying your fertilizer more frequently. So obviously in my case, as you guys saw, I went well below my recommended rate for this specific fertilizer, my 1806. I went well below my recommended rate, almost in half, and that's how I'm going to be applying this fertilizer this year, and as well as my NutriTurf as well. That's how I'm going to be applying fertilizer this year. So in my case, I'm basically going to be applying fertilizer every other week. I'm going to try it out that way, and then maybe every other 2 weeks, depending on how I see how the lawn's reacting. Said though, if you guys did enjoy watching this video, please go ahead, smash that thumbs up button for me. It really helps me out, lets me know what you guys are enjoying on the channel. After doing that, go ahead, smash that subscribe button down below and hit the bell notifications. That way you can get notified for when I upload new videos. Feel free, after doing that, check out my social medias in the description below. I got personal Instagram and I got my photography Instagram. Go ahead, check those out. With all that being said, it's your boy C-Pims. Peace out, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.